So I have been questioning the way I make these cards, uh, and I've been wondering if I should really be making them the way I make them. See, you got how these cards work. Essentially, there's a number, like for example, 54. There'll be that number, and each color represents a different factor of it. So you have blue, which represents the factor of 2. You have orange, which represents the factor of 3. And then there is gold, which represents the factor that, well, it means that it's 3 squared is what you're looking at. And I got silver here for when I represent a squaring. Actually, it's gold is cubed, silver is squared. And I do these like this in theory to save time and to save paper. But lately I've been really kind of questioning whether or not I ought to be doing things like this, because maybe my approach isn't the best approach. What I mean by this is I am basically I'm writing each number once. I did from 1 to 100, and then I did from 100 all the way up to several hundred. I got 200 card here, and if you look in there, you might see a 2-digit if you're lucky. I didn't actually get up to that point, but I wrote that number anyway. This card right here is based on the new idea that I need to take things more slowly. And I've been studying this. I've been doing 20 by 20. And my idea is that maybe I need to start off with that instead of, just studying every composite number up to 100 until I got all that memorized, and then memorize numbers bigger than that, because while that might teach me a lot, actually it won't teach me what I need to know in a sufficient amount of time, because that there's going to always be more 2s than anything, and then 3s and 5s and 4s and everything that's bigger. There's always going to be more of the smaller ones than there is any other one, and it's going to be that way for a while, until you start ignoring factors later on. And I just think that maybe that is not the best way for me to be doing this. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe do you think that I ought to, completely, redo the cards? Because for example, I can never have, an 18 times 8 followed by a 16 times 9. And I can't follow those cards up with cards like 12 times 12 and 4 times 36 and 2 times 72, because they're all the same number. And I was wondering, is this really the best idea? Because I really do want to learn a lot. I want to learn up to 120 by 120 at first, at least, so that I can in theory, so that I can write multiplications faster. That's basically the overall idea. And you know, my idea of learning is sort of it's not that it's bad to learn for a job. Maybe I will, you know, incorporate this into a job or something later on. But the art of learning is a prize in and of itself. You got to be able to enjoy knowing things in and of itself. You know, it's not about, you know, your superiority complex. It's not about, you know, trying to outdo other people, because that will never do. But you know, that's kind of what I've been working on here. And I was wondering, you know, what is thought about that, which is why I decided to make that video. But you know, at the same time, I do these to save paper. So my question is, you know, sort of, you know, am I going to have enough space? You know, because I don't know. I guess, you know, if you can imagine 120 of these cards, and you can imagine 120 stacks of them, not that it'll exactly be that much, because, you know, I can kind of ignore tens in a way, and twos, and because those are just numbers followed by zeros, even though I clearly have them here, though I don't know why I decided to put them on there. It would probably save marker if I didn't, but yeah, I just made this video because I wanted to know what the best idea was to do. I even have a 361, and if you don't know, that is essentially 19 squared. I got the silver represents the square, and the sort of peach color represents 9. Although if I were to describe that color, it would be more like a coral, but the pencil describes it as peach, so I just kind of go with that. I consider peach to be a little more orange, but you know, that'll do. And so, you know, if anybody has any insight, it would definitely help to put some answers down there, you know, because I'm not omniscient, you know. I did think this was a pretty good idea, and I still think it kind of is, but it has its limits. And I was wondering if I should instead go for a full deck.